Me to another level, talking fit the mission. Typically not into homilies or new religion. I can read your phone, I cannot be beginning.
Azza and Saada, you guys, we met like what I would say
A long time ago.
I remember when you had those parties, it was like my first. I was like, damn, this shit feel like New Orleans or like Louisiana, because like in places like here, like guys dance here, but like not like talking about like, especially where I'm from in Louisiana, everybody dances. It's all about the music, a good time, like, percussion, the beat. And
Second lines.
yes, and so when I went to your parties, I know for a fact, and even like the good times we always had, I just was like, this is the type of shit I like. I think from there, there was like a trust and just like a feeling of like a sense of home that I felt with you. So Azza is quite the experienced architect, and she has turned, their first apartment into quite
Babes Island.
Yes, Babes Island. So yes, Babes Island. Why you call it Babes Island?
Because it's an island full of babes.
You feel me?
What inspired you to create this album?
Well, I would say the first thing that inspired me to write this album, I actually watched this biopic on the Beach Boys called Love and Mercy.
Wow.
So I watched that, and I think it was a lot of bit of the movie and a lot of bit of the story about Brian Wilson and just his passion for songwriting and sounds. And I learned a lot from that movie, and just from like listening to, like, that movie also talked a lot about or dealt with a lot of mental health issues as well. And listening to that and digesting their harmonies and lyricism, and then it took me to, I just went in this rabbit hole of like early Ike and Tina Turner, and then funkadelic and psychedelic and Donna Summer and disco. It just took me to a place to where I feel like at that time I wasn't very happy. I was going through a lot of life and a lot of changes, and I just wanted to write music that took me somewhere else. So when I saw that movie, it just, like, the cinematography, me digesting, his problems and how he, like, put it into paper and then turned it into a masterpiece, and, like, the harmonies and everything that came behind it, the symphonies, it just really inspired me. And I wanted to, after creating a record like Jaded, which was, essentially,
I love.
Yes. I love it too. I think essentially it's kind of like reflective of where I'm from, outside New Orleans in Louisiana, and very jazz and blues driven, but me singing like R&B over that. And this album is very funk and very disco and very upbeat, because I wasn't, so I just was like, if I could make other people dance, or if I could make myself want to dance while making this, and maybe I will want to dance. So boom, when he was just like playing that in the studio, and I had already, like I said, written 100% Active and a few other songs in the record, and I just wanted to make kids and like moms like driving them in their vans, like carpooling, or just my friends that just wanted to feel silly, like girl parties. I love house parties, so I was like, boom, 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 face in your face, know what you gonna do. It's just how it felt. So, and I just felt powerful, like as a woman, like, what you gonna do with all of this,
So what is that song about?
When You Touch Me is about a lot of things.
Is it physical touch or emotional touch or both?
I would say it's both, because, which is why I sang it the way that I did. And, the way that I sang the verses was very intentional, and separate from the way that I sang the hook, which I think was more sensual, and the verses were more painful and real. I was still coming out of a lot of the experiences, like heartbreak and feeling helpless, like with a lot of the themes that run through my album that we spoke about, pushing through, trying to find my inner force.
I thought it was just a sensual ass song.
Really?
Because it has like a foreplay aspect,
Yeah, I'm
and
like,
then
no,
it like
she's
has like a
building and
climax.
building.
Yeah. I've been I think it was really exciting for me. I worked on that song with James Richardson from the band MGMT. He plays guitar.
dope.
So I met him essentially through Patrick,
Mm-hmm.
who executive produced the album. And he played every fucking instrument on the song. Like, we just locked in the studio, and he played every instrument from guitar, congas, like bells, synths, Rhodes, like everything. Then I had already done my vocals, and I re-recorded it because he just gave this extra thriller, like spooky, just gave it more modern and like contemporary, just cool vibe. And I just felt like I really needed to add my authenticity and like my realness on top of it.
I tell you that you're like one of the best performers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think
Really?
that not
Your
only
live show
because
is
I
amazing.
like, you know, I've worked with a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, and there's some people who are just great, like lyricists, great or writers, great singers, but you are a great entertainer and musician. Like, I think that to me that is like a recipe for like success.
Yeah, your live show is.
Your live show is
So
phenomenal.
That's so awesome to just hear from friends. And then I think it's, I don't know, because like, you know, you hear these things about people, and then I always want, you know, my show to feel like, I don't care if I know you or not, I want you to feel like you're watching a fucking
You
show.
saw
It is
Jessie? Jesse's a huge fan now. I brought her to your show.
I love Jessie.
She
But then you touch me.